Do you struggle with lost motivation? If every single day you wake up with absolutely no idea what you should be doing or why you're doing what you do, then this episode's for you. You'll want to stick around because by the end, you'll know exactly what to do when your motivation isn't working for you. So you could begin feeling more productive starting today. Motivation seems easy for overachievers like myself. That is until life throws you a curveball. So I know for me, I had a miscarriage, an abusive relationship, divorce, and then experienced suicide loss all within 4 years. And for my type A overachiever personality, these obstacles were really difficult because my healing got in the way of my progress moving forward. But slowly but surely, as I experimented with different things, as well as interviewed a ton of people on the subject, I think I eventually cracked the code to how to keep yourself motivated. And this is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Before we go ahead and get started, if you enjoy both motivational and self-help content just like this, be sure to go ahead and hit subscribe as well as tap the bell. That way you'll be updated the next time a new episode airs. So let's dive into today's episode. First, I wanted to talk about why motivation stalling isn't necessarily a bad thing. First, if your motivation is stalled, that's a sign that something within your life isn't working out for you. It's actually a sign to pay attention. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Another reason it can be good is it can provide a necessary break. So as I mentioned before, I am a type A overachiever. And if I find my motivation is starting to wane a little bit, that could sometimes be a sign for me that I need to slow down, that maybe I shouldn't be moving so fast, that I kind of need to take some time to reevaluate what's going on, not that I'm so frenetic and frantic all the time. It's also a great opportunity to kind of reset and reassess. Take a look at what your life looks like today and what your goals actually are, because truth is our goals change depending on our life circumstances. Oftentimes when your motivation is starting to stall, that's a really, really great sign that now would be a good opportunity to sit back and kind of analyze what's going on in your life and what you need to do moving forward. So I know if you're an overachiever like me, motivation comes a little bit easier than for others. But for many people, it's difficult for them to get motivated because they can't find the energy. And I get that because when I went through all the 4 years of my adversity in that short time frame, I was exhausted because physically, mentally, emotionally, it's just a lot to take on all at once. So finding the energy to actually motivate yourself is super challenging. Motivation also takes a certain amount of consistency, and being able to find that consistency is tough. Consistency with any number of things is difficult, never mind trying to keep yourself going towards whatever it is your goals are. Another thing that's a challenge is what works for one person may not work for you. So what motivates me sure as hell won't motivate you and won't motivate, your cousin. So you got to really learn what works best for you in order to be able to strategize how to keep that consistency and that momentum moving forward. So for me, nothing necessarily clicked in regards to my motivation until after I lost my long-term partner to suicide. So that had actually happened in the summer of 2018. And again, this was the last of, 4 major hurdles that happened for me in a 4-year time frame. In the 3 years before that, I had had a miscarriage. I had been in an abusive relationship for quite some time. And I ultimately decided on getting a divorce. So experiencing all of that more or less prepped me for how I was going to have to heal from losing my partner. And I knew that in order to kind of keep myself going and to fully process my healing, that I was going to have to, take a look at certain areas of my life and kind of identify what is working, what isn't working, and make some changes. And if I did, it would allow me the space that I needed to fully heal as well as to grow and transform personally as a result of my situation. So what I learned as a result of everything I went through, processing the grief from the loss of my partner, was there are 5 areas of your life that if they are not in alignment or anything is out of balance, that it's going to stall your motivation. Doesn't matter what you try to do, you're going to be kind of stuck. So the 5 areas are super simple to remember, and they all begin with a C. The first one is clarity. If you're not clear on what it is you want moving forward, what's preventing you from getting there, and what you need to do in order to get there, you're never going to get there. And this changes. So when you find that your motivation is stalled, usually there's some kind of a circumstance or something that happened that kind of changed the path that you were taking before. So using the, instance of me losing my partner, all of a sudden, all the plans that we had and all the goals that we had to, get married and have more children and, buy a house together, all of that was suddenly gone. So I had to get really, really clear on, okay, well, now that this is not an option, what is it that I do want? What would make me happy moving forward? What is it that's not working for me? So clarity is the very, very first step. From there, you also have to work on your confidence. If your confidence isn't there, that's going to stop you from being able to take risks and to do things that'll take you to where you want to go. So, and confidence comes in many different forms. Confidence can be, your personal confidence and how you look and feel. So as a great example, if you really want to find a life partner, and you're, not feeling motivated to get out there and start dating, it could be because you're not feeling good about how you appear and you think that other people might judge you. And because you're lacking that confidence, it's preventing you from actually going out and doing what you want to do. Confidence can come in other ways. As an example, let's say you want to start a business and you have no idea how to start a business. So your lack of education in what you need to do to start that business is holding you back. So again, lack of confidence. Another area is community, and community actually is a few different aspects. It includes communication as well as your relationships and your environment. If your environment that you're in is toxic and not conducive to whatever it is that your goals are, it's going to end up holding you back. So great example I hear of this is, kids coming out of college that want to become, let's say, a social media influencer and their family wants them to become a lawyer. That environment of not having their family support them is going to hold them back unless they decide to make the conscious decision not to allow their beliefs to hold them back. So you really need to kind of take a look at how your relationships are fitting into what your goals are and who's supportive in your life and who is not. And as a result, who you want to be keeping around, because we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if there is something very, very specific that you want to achieve in your life, surrounding yourself with people who have achieved that or who support that is going to help you get there that much faster. So as an example for me with my community, after, my partner had passed away, I had a lot of friends that basically just weren't there to support me, through my healing and everything else that I wanted to do. And as I decided that I wanted to make major changes to my life as a result of it. So one of the first decisions I had made was to start my own business. And I had several friends that were very, very negative about me making that decision. And I had to choose to decide to not eliminate them from my life, but to not proactively spend as much time with them because I knew that their negativity was dragging me down and preventing me from where I wanted to go. The 4th C is conditioning. So when I say conditioning, this is your health, your fitness. This is what you do to make yourself better. So this is all self-improvement. So if you are not taking care of your health, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting the education that you need in order to be able to achieve a task that's something that you're looking forward to do, acquiring the skills, that's going to prevent you from moving forward. So conditioning needs to be a part of your, motivational strategy. If it's not there and you're not taking care of yourself and you're stressed out and you don't have enough sleep, that's going to prevent you from having the motivation that you need in order to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish. And lastly, and most importantly, consistency. So you could have all the other things working for you, but if you don't have a system in place, both for your time management as well as how you check in with your progress on getting to what it is that you want to get to, you're never going to get there. Being very, very aware of how to manage your time is ultimately going to help you get to where you want to go. So when you find yourself stuck, the very first place that I recommend people look at, evaluate which of these 5 areas you are misaligned in. It's a great place to start. It could be, a family member that's holding you back. It could be that you're lacking the confidence, that you feel that you weigh too much and whatever else, and you don't feel good about your appearance, and that's preventing you from going out to dates. It could be any number of things, but it's usually one or multiple of these 5 areas that you need to address. Then from there, you go ahead and you create a plan on how you're going to address those misalignments. So in the example I gave before, if you're feeling not so confident about how you're looking and it's preventing you from going out and dating, then create a health and fitness plan. Work on how you look. maybe update your wardrobe, get a makeover, whatever it is that's going to make you feel good about you, so that then you can put yourself out there confidently and actually go about doing what it is you want to do, which could be attracting a life partner, which you kind of have to date to do that. And then from there, it's as simple as taking action on your plan. And if things don't work out, that's fine. Just remember, you could always circle back and start the process over the next time that your motivation starts to stall again. So the beauty of this system is anytime your motivation stalls, that kind of tells you that something is out of alignment, and address whatever that issue is, and you get it kickstarted again. All right. So I know what everybody out there is thinking right now. The most common one that I get, especially with my coaching clients, is, how do I go about this? I'm just too tired. So if you are too tired, that's a signal right then and there that your health is not aligned, right? So the very first thing that I would do if I was in your position would be to work on my health and wellness, create an exercise plan, start eating healthier, and really focus on how much sleep you're getting, as well as, that you're hydrating. Water is so important. Make sure you're drinking enough water. When you start to address your health, then from there, being able to wake up, you'll have more energy, and it'll be that much easier to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish. Another one I get is, well, I'm just not really fired up about what it is I'm doing. So if that's you, then that tells me that clarity is one of the 5 misalignments for you. So you have to get clear on, okay, well, what would make you happy? What do you actually want to be doing? So it may mean you have to make a career change. It may mean you have to get, education to do something else. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide what it is you are passionate about and what you want to be doing, so that you do wake up each and every day motivated. And then finally, I know so many of you out there just don't believe whatever it is, that goal that you have, that dream, you just don't believe you can get there. And the truth is, you can get there. It's just a matter of getting out of your own way and identifying what areas of your life you can improve and, get the additional support and education and consistency in order to bring you a step closer to getting there. You could do this. I know you can. And in fact, I'm going to set up a challenge for today. So I challenge each and every one of you to do one thing to help with your motivation. So what out of the 5 areas that I listed today are you going to change moving forward so that you're a step closer to your goals starting immediately? Leave a comment below. You can take a screenshot of this video and DM me or comment on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I would love to hear from you, and let's all, have a conversation about this. Let's get motivated. Let's get pumped up. If you like this video, be sure to go ahead and like it. If not, dislike it. That's fine. I won't be offended. And also, don't forget, I always feature now my favorite comments that I get on a regular basis as part of these videos, and I just may feature yours. So be sure to stay engaged and be sure to be part of the conversation. So here is this week's featured comment. Ready to learn more about my motivation method? If you want to take the 5 key areas even further and learn additional strategies on exactly how to use them to get you more motivated today, you're going to want to sign up for my brand new free 3-day training. In order to do that, go ahead and visit my website at www.corilo.com to sign up. I look forward to connecting with you there.